Hey YouTube, it's Erin with the Handbag Housewife, and I'm here today to do a quick comparison between these two beautiful bags, the Louis Vuitton Pochette Metis in Empreinte leather that is Turtledove in color, and the Coach Cassie, which is taupe in color with silver hardware. Now, these two bags look very similar, and they are. Their measurements are virtually identical. The main difference that you can see from the outside is that the Louis Vuitton has empreinte leather, which means that it's got the Louis Vuitton pattern embossed or stamped into the leather. The Coach Cassie has a pebbled leather. And on the exterior, I'm sure you've seen tons of comparisons that tell you they hold about the same. I'm not going to do what's in my bag or anything like that. You can see some people really prefer the Cassie because it doesn't have a zippered back pocket, and that way it's easier to get your phone in and out, but some people may prefer the security that this one offers. For me, one of the things that I wanted to compare was that this bag doesn't have as many issues as the canvas version. A lot of people will compare the canvas version of this bag to the Coach Cassie. And if you look at how they're constructed, this bag is constructed differently than the canvas version of the Pochette Metis. The main issue with these bags, if you have trouble, is the glazing. And if you look right here, the way the glazing is done, it's much less likely to crack. If you look at how the Cassie is constructed, it is constructed pretty much the same as the canvas version of the Pochette Metis, meaning the glazing comes together here at this junction and it cracks there. I've had many crack, and there's some edge coat, Fieblin's edge coat that I'll link below in my description box that you can get, and you can repair those cracks, and it's much easier than trying to have Coach do it. I mean, I know Coach does it. I think it's like 35 bucks, I heard, but all you have to do is just paint a tiny bit of this Fieblin's edge coat on there if you ever notice a crack there, and it is virtually invisible. And so that's what I do on these bags if I do have a problem. And I have had a problem with, out of my dozen, probably 3 of them have developed a crack. But if you'll notice here, on this bag, the glazing comes straight up. There's no junction where the glazing is meeting from this point to this point. So you're much less likely to get a crack. Now, as far as the interior goes, you can see that the Cassie is lined with a textile lining on the flap, while the Pochette Metis empreinte is, the back side of the flap is leather. I do like that. If you look at the interior of the bag, the Pochette Metis has kind of a cotton lining in it, while again, throughout the Cassie, you've got this, I don't know what this material is made out of. It has kind of a silky, satiny texture to it. I think it feels great. I think it probably feels better than the Pochette Metis lining to the touch, but maybe not quite as durable. Now, on the inside of my Pochette Metis, to preserve its structure, I did get the inserts for the center compartment from Boutique of Australia. Before I got these, I got some from a different company, or before I got this one, because it's just the one insert for the middle. I got an insert from a company called, it's like Havre Luxe out of the United Kingdom. And that company is a great company for protecting the hardware on the front of your bag. Let me really quickly just grab one of the ones I'm talking about. Okay, so I grabbed what I needed, and I wanted to show you, when it comes to base shapers, there is a difference between them. This one is the one from Boutique of Australia. It is basically covered in like a bonded leather, and I think it feels great. It looks great. This is the one I ordered first from Havre Luxe. And it is basically literally a piece of cardboard with tape on it. I do not recommend them for these. But what I do recommend them for is their covers for the hardware. You can order packs, and I ordered more than one. Like when you order them, it might be worth ordering a few because it's easy to mess up. But you can order packs of these stickers. Like here, for example, is one for the part of the lock where the Pochette Metis closes. And I'll try to zoom in on it and show you, but basically this part of your lock gets super scratched up if you're not careful. And so I have a sticker on it from this Havre Luxe company. And so when I remove that, if I ever wanted to, the gold finish on it wouldn't be all scratched up. And that's one of the disadvantages of this particular bag versus the Cassie, because the Cassie has the turn lock closure, and so you don't get that same kind of scratching that you get with this one. There's very minimal scratching that you're going to find on your Coach Cassie's turn lock. The only scratching you're going to get is if you're like basically dragging it across something. This one, it happens naturally to get scratched just by opening and closing the bag. So that's why I find those stickers very helpful. Now, I've pretty much covered, the bags are about the same size. I've covered how to protect your locking mechanism on your Louis Vuitton as well as the structure. I don't think that the Cassie needs the same protection on the structure. I don't know why it is, because I do feel like the inner lining of the Pochette Metis is more substantial, but the leather of the Cassie just really seems to hold its shape just a little better than the Empreinte on the Pochette Metis. And I've noticed this from looking at pre-loved bags too. So that's why I immediately got the base shaper whenever I did go ahead and acquire this bag. So the two bags, they look very similar. They're both fantastic options. I did want to talk just a little bit about the history. People wonder which came first. Was it the Cassie or was it the Pochette Metis? Well, both sides of the story have been claimed, that Coach copied Louis Vuitton and that Louis Vuitton copied Coach. Now, what I found through my research is that Louis Vuitton came out with a bag called the Monceau in 1986, and that bag looks almost identical to the Pochette Metis. They re-released it in 2013 in a BB size, and then in 2021 they had an even bigger size that was in epi leather, and it's not available anymore. But I will insert a photograph from a video that I found that compares the Monceau to the Pochette Metis in canvas, and you will see how similar they are. And I'll insert a picture right here from that video. Now, this one, Coach copied the Coach Court bag, which came out in 1990. So technically, Louis Vuitton beat Coach to this style of bag because the Court bag didn't come out till 1990. But again, I have a comparison video I found on YouTube, and I will link that below, and also I'll show the picture right here. And that way you can kind of see how close it is to its predecessor. Well, I think that's it in a nutshell as far as the history goes. Now, let me talk just a little bit about the accessories. Now, this chain reminds me of the chain that comes with the Dauphine bag by Louis Vuitton. It is an octagon shape mixed with a rectangle, and it's actually called the octagon chain. I love to carry this bag crossbody with this chain dangling, but it is also long enough that you can put it on your shoulder like so and carry it that way if you wanted to dress it up. I'll insert a modeling shot at the end if you want to stick around and see what both of these bags look like. Of course, I've already talked about this chain. This is an Amazon chain by company, and I'll spell it. It's Xiazw. I do not know how to say that, but I can link this chain below again. And once again, it is long enough to go on the shoulder, or like how I like to wear it generally is just to use it as a crossbody with it dangling. So let me know what you think. Both of these have great quality leather. I don't see an issue with either one of them wearing poorly. Now I have a lot of bags, so I haven't used either one of these a lot. I've used each one of them a couple times, but just from hearing about how Empreinte leather wears and how the Coach Cassie wears, other than the issue of the glazing right in those corners, which is probably better with the Pochette Metis, there aren't a lot of complaints regarding wear and tear on these bags. So if you had to pick, which one would you choose? The Luxe version or the contemporary version? Obviously I couldn't choose. I picked both. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you could take a minute and like and subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate so much. Thank you. So this is how I like to style the Pochette Metis. Dress it up, give it a little bit of an edge. I love the chain. I'll link it below again. Organize my bags, it's just amazing. And this bag provides a very similar look. Still gorgeous, still has the bling, but for a much lower price.